Making this video is already a process. I can't. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Susan, and I know I've been gone for a while. I'm really sorry. I got bronchitis. I moved into school. As you can tell, different scenery. Maybe you can tell, maybe you can't. Also have 5 roommates, so it's hard to find a time when it's actually quiet. And literally, I finally found time, set up my camera, and I had no SD card. So yeah, this is a process within itself already. And now my camera is gonna die. Someone doesn't want me to make this video, I swear. Alright, well let's just get started. So, as you can tell by the title, I am a sperm donor baby, aka I'm a child of donor conception. Back in 1997, my mom decided, well, doing the math, I think technically 1996. But back then, my mom was single and she wanted a child, so she went to a sperm donor bank. I don't really know the proper terms for this. It's still recording even though it says it died. Okay, so it died and I'm wicked pissed because I had some great natural lighting going on, but now you have the incandescent bulb, so I apologize in advance for that. Also, quality J. Cole shirt got going on right now. If you know, you know. So yeah, like back in 1996, my mom was sitting there flipping through a little book, like looking through all like the different credentials, like I guess that she wanted, and then me. That's me. That's how I came into this world. Was from a little cup. Like metaphorically, this is my dad. Metaphorically. I'm thirsty. That's kind of weird that I did that. So I can't remember the time when my mom first told me that I didn't technically have a dad. It's just something that I grew up with, and I always knew, like, I always knew I was different. I always knew I didn't have a dad, and I might not have completely understood, like, obviously the whole mechanics of all of that, but like I knew. And I've met people over the years who have like siblings and stuff that don't know that they're children of donor conception. They think that their father is their father or something otherwise, or I've met people that are actually relative to my life that found out later in life. Honestly, I think that is completely the worst thing you could do. Like, I don't even question it. It's not even something that really bothers me, but I think it doesn't bother me because I grew up my whole life knowing it. So the first question I always get asked is, do you know who he is? And technically, no. I got like a little code. One of my roommates just got home. See, this is what happens when you don't charge a camera. Come here.
Oh, really? Can I be on it?
Yeah.
What are we talking about today?
You can just say hi.
This is my first video.
Oh, the light's turned on. I can't. I forget where I'm going with all of this. The only things I know about my dad are like written on a small sheet. It just has his donor code, basic information like eye color, hair color, ethnicity, stuff like that, like general things. But recently I got a hold of like a whole little like medical book on like the different information about him, and actually had like a little blurb, like a personal statement, and weirdly enough it sounded kind of just like me. And I think that that's one of those crazy things that you hear about, like twins meeting twins and they do the same thing. Like the stuff that's like you, like comes from somebody else. In general, I really want to know who he is. I don't care to have a relationship with him. I don't care to hang out and fucking do whatever. I just literally want to see like what he looks like and like know about his life and like know who he is and like what he does. It's weird to think that there's like half of me that I don't know much about. So I guess I started like itching at the idea of figuring out who he was when I was like freshman in high school. I made a Tumblr post about it because I was dramatic and 13, but like other than that there wasn't really much I could do. And every couple years after that I'll go through like phases where like all of a sudden I'll like think about it and I'll like do a ton of stuff and then I'll just stop. And then another couple years go by and I'll do a ton of stuff and then I just stop. And it's like a cycle of these things of me going through and through and through and through until finally I get to the point where I don't know, I haven't found him yet, so I guess I haven't reached any good point. The most recent wave I've had in interest was actually the most successful that I've ever been with all of it. I wanted to get 23andMe done because I wanted to know the medical history, like if I had any predispositions towards certain diseases or things of that nature. And at that time I didn't have that medical history of my father, so it was even more of like an itching to find these things out because like your health is big. Like I want to know like Am I gonna die? Oh, it's not really what you find out, but you know what I mean. So in the process of this, I found out that you actually get connected to people that you're related to. So it was, I was all in. I was like, give me the super whatever. So I got 23andMe and I got Ancestry kits. I did both. If we matched, hey, my name's Susan. So I actually ended up matching with one of my half-sisters, which is nuts because she only lived 45 minutes from me. Shania, if you're watching this, how's it going? And it's so weird because she doesn't necessarily like look like me, but there are things that when you look at the two of us, like you could see it. We actually ended up hanging out, which was wicked cool. And after meeting her, it was just like fuel on top of a fire. It just got me going. I was just like, all right, I need to figure out everything. I actually bought Ancestry for a year, so that, you know, $100, it ain't cheap. But in this process, I messaged a ton of people and I was like, hey, like, it says you're like my possible third cousin, like, I'm a child of donor conception. Do you have any idea what this means? If you do, please let me know. And I just was messaging everybody. So there's this woman that I actually got matched with on Ancestry.com. I sent her the same message. I was like, hey, it says we're possibly third cousins. I'm a child of donor conception. Do you have any idea? She messages me back. Interesting. I'm also the result of sperm donation. My biological father donated in 1951. I'm 66. How old are you? Nuts. So I actually haven't really been great on responding, but the last message that she sent me was that she actually found who her biological father is, and he like passed away. But it's insane because if you think about it, her dad was a sperm donor and my dad's a sperm donor, but somehow we're related, and it's not through her maternal side. Like, I wonder if my dad, who is a sperm donor obviously, if his dad was a sperm donor too. Nuts. Literally nuts. Imagine just like a whole family. Like, it's weird. Honestly, it's kind of weird. So I actually called the clinic that my mother went to, and I was like, hey, it's Susan. And they're like, what up, Susan? And I was like, hey, do you know who my dad is? And they're like, HIPAA. If you don't know what HIPAA is, it's pretty much just like a bunch of legal stuff that like they can't release like information to anybody. What they told me was that I had to fill out this form, and I had to have my dad fill out this form, and if he consents and I consent and we mesh, then like they can release this information to me. The only problem is they never sent me the forms, and I kind of lost the spark, so I kind of just left it, and that was probably back in September, so it's been about 2 months. I'm definitely going to get back into it, and especially with making this video, like, it just, here comes the flame again. Oh, yep, here it comes. I actually joined a few Facebook groups that are for children of donor conception, and it makes me so sad reading half the things that people say. I don't know if my opinion is unpopular, but a lot of people like look down on the fact that someone would just donate and have no connection to their children at all. Honest to God, I'm grateful for it, because without it I wouldn't be here. Like, there's no possible way. And I feel like since I had the opportunity to live, what's more precious than living? Like, a relationship with my father isn't gonna fix the fact of my life if I didn't have a life to begin with. I guess if you want to use the word cope, the way that I cope with the fact that I don't have a dad is honestly I just make jokes about it. Like, me and my friends will be walking around and we'll see like a random guy, I'm like, oh, is that my dad? And everybody laughs because like, maybe. Literally. So we always say, we're like, oh, I don't know, maybe. Actually, on Father's Day, I took a picture from Google of a cup of semen and I posted it, and I was like, happy Father's Day to the most loving, caring man in my life. All of this is funny because like, I feel weird about drinking this water now. It really doesn't bother me that much. I don't know. Everybody's different. Everybody has their own feelings. Honestly, I really think that sperm and egg donation are super important, because there are plenty of people like my mom and also people that are infertile. Like, it crosses a huge spectrum of people that just want to have children in general but can't. Be grateful for the life that you live. That's all I gotta say. I guess to all those out there watching that are like me, like, what was your experience like? How did you feel growing up? Like, knowing, not knowing, finding out? Let me know in the comments below. Would appreciate it. But that's a little part of my life I'm letting you guys know about. Any questions for me, definitely ask those too. I don't know really what else to say, so like, favorite, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I hope you guys have a really, really gay day.